New tonight at 11, for the first time since 2006, the ball won't rise over Carytown this New Year's Eve. We find out why. Plus, he wanted to play pro football. Decades later, this Richmond native is living the dream in a different way. A remarkable story you have to hear. Plus, wait until you hear why this Grinch is handing out onions to speeders.
8 News at 11 starts now.
Thanks for joining us. A Richmond New Year's Eve tradition that draws thousands won't happen this year. The Carytown ball won't rise. The event is canceled. 8 News reporter Tim Rocca has the story.
The Richmond ball raise over the Bird Theater started out with just a few people years ago, but by last year, police say more than 30,000 people took over Carytown.
3,000, 4,000 people to come out in that little block, fine. 35,000 people, not fine.
The Bird Theater Foundation met with the Carytown Merchants Association and other neighborhood groups and decided to cancel it this year. The biggest concern is safety, along with noise, trash left over, trespassing, and even vandalism. Carytown already has several events a year where thousands of people come into the area, but for those, the crowds are usually spread out through several blocks. What makes the New Year's Eve one different is that folks are trying to get to one spot right here in front of the Bird Theater. The event has been canceled before, only for it to happen anyway. But this year, organizers say it's serious. Even law enforcement is involved. So
don't come out to think, they're just going to do it anyway. It's not going to happen because there will be consequences this year if it does happen.
I reached out to the GM of the Bird Theater who started the tradition. He said he was very disappointed, but the Theater Foundation hopes to find a new location for 2014. In Carytown, Tim Rocca, 8 News.
Tim, tonight was the last chance parents in Richmond had to weigh in on who the next superintendent will be. Those parents got a chance to personally ask the candidates questioned. Our 8 News anchor Avajoy Burnett was in a packed room. She tells us how everything went. We go to her now live. Avajoy?
Good evening, Christina. Well, hundreds of people showed up here at Albert Hill Middle School just to check these candidates out to see what they're all about. Some people walked away still not satisfied. Others say we have some really good candidates. One by one, the candidates took the stand to face concerned parents, frustrated teachers, and board members who are looking for approval from the public. This mother was blunt, airing the dirty laundry at her daughter's high school.
My daughter went to high school this year, and she waited in the auditorium over 2 weeks to get a schedule straight. I couldn't speak to a counselor or a principal during that time. That's ridiculous.
The questions went on for hours. Dr. Dana Bedden from Irving, Texas, talked about bringing back the arts, strengthening science, technology, engineering, and math programs. Dr. Anthony Jackson, a superintendent at a school system in North Carolina, talked about charter schools and how they could be of great benefit to a community if implemented the right way. And Dr. Calvin Watts, who is currently an assistant superintendent at a school system in Georgia, addressed this little girl by name, answering a question about SOLs and his vision of getting kids to remember what they've learned.
I would like to see a system that is strong at its core, that where we are good in our basics.
We'll find out who the new superintendent will be on Monday, but some believe we have 3 great choices.
One of the things that I can say with absolute confidence, either of these 3 candidates could do the job. No question about it.
And if you are wondering if your voice counts in this, that board member, I should say, that you just heard from, said absolutely. They want for you to get on the phone, get on your email, contact them, and let them know what you think. Also tonight, they handed out this form for people to rank all 3 candidates. They say they will be taking your scores into account. Reporting live in Richmond, I'm Avajoy Burnett, 8 News.
A search is underway in Williamsburg for the man who attacked and raped a William and Mary student. The college sent out an alert after it happened last night about a half-mile from campus. The victim was walking from her apartment to the store when that suspect approached her, pulled out a knife, and forced her to a nearby path. Students say this is unusual for Williamsburg.
I normally feel very safe in this area, and it's just scary and sad altogether.
The woman was taken to the hospital. Police have a vague description of that man. If you have any information, call the crime line. That number 1-888-LOCK-YOU-UP. Democrat Mark Herring is the new Attorney General after Republican Mark Obenshain conceded today. Obenshain says he made the decision after speaking with his attorneys, realizing the recount was not adding up in his favor. At last check, Herring was 866 votes ahead. Obenshain called and congratulated Herring on the victory.
It was a vigorous and hard-fought campaign, but it's over.
While the margin of victory was very narrow with 165 votes, we felt very confident that the outcome, if there were a recount, would hold. In fact, if anything, we thought our margin would grow.
The recount will go on as planned. Certified results are expected as early as tomorrow. He is a 74-year-old Richmond native, and he's better at football than men 50 years younger. Lee Krost once played at Douglas Freeman High School and Randolph-Macon College. And now he's reconnecting with the game in a way you have to see to believe. 8 News reporter Mitch Carr has his story now. Mitch?
Let's get one thing straight. The Stanford, Connecticut YMCA Men's Flag Football League is not the NFL. But if you're in your 70s and you're still slinging it there, you can still make it to the Super Bowl. Lee Krost is hoping that and some support from you at home can get him to the big game.
Been playing football for over 60 years now.
Lee Krost is a 74-year-old grandfather. Even so, the former Douglas Freeman and Randolph-Macon quarterback still has a cannon when he grips a football.
It's always been a painful process to play catch with him.
His son Lucas made a short about his father's exploits as a gunslinging quarterback in a Connecticut adult flag football league. Lucas's younger half-brothers were the ones that put the idea in their father's head.
All of a sudden, they hit teenage and 20 years old, and they said, "Dad, you know, you take us out in the backyard and you throw us these bullets all the time. I think he'd still play."
Lee Krost carves up men that are 1/2 and 1/3 his age.
You know, they start off with joking around like, "Hey, where's your wheelchair?" or "Hey, Pops," you know. By the end of the game, they're cursing him because he's beating the pants off of them.
But Lee's football and Lucas's film are more than just a vanity project. They're part of a contest. If you vote for Lee, he and Lucas can go to the Super Bowl.
I can think of nothing more epic than seeing my father standing next to 250-pound linemen.
It would be a place Lee Krost hasn't been since he tried out for the Baltimore Colts quarterback position in the 1960s.
They had this little guy there, little skinny guy from Louisville. Unitas, I think they call him.
It was a contest Krost couldn't win. Now, decades later, he can win this one, and he's got another shot at the NFL.
74 years old and being able to reconnect with the NFL, I mean, it's like a dream come true.
So here is where you come in. Just go to the NFL's website for this campaign. It's www.togetherwemakefootball.com. And we're going to have the link posted on our website as well. There you can see Lucas's short, and you can vote for Lee. And hopefully they'll win. You better hurry, too, because the voting closes Thursday, December 23rd. Christina?
All right, thank you, Mitch. Some young patients at Children's Hospital of Richmond at VCU are the latest internet stars. And they made this video lip-syncing Katy Perry's hit song Roar. It has gone viral. No matter what challenges they are facing, these kids want everybody to know they are fighters and champions, just as the lyrics say.
Our patients show us the perseverance that they have and the strong will.
This video is part of the hospital's 12 Days of Holiday Cheer campaign. We'll link you once again on our website, WRIC.com. Well, Christmas is just 1 week away. Don't forget your kids might want to shop too. Disco Sports has a reindeer shop. It's just for kids. Gifts start as low as $5 and they can shop there. The store wraps the presents so the parents are truly surprised Christmas morning.
And it really helps them to think a lot about giving and to think about who they want to buy presents for. Instead of just thinking about what they might want from Santa Claus or their moms and dads. So it's a really great experience for children.
The reindeer shop will be open until New Year's Eve. Take a look, this picture, the latest to go viral. It's not because of the president or his family. If you can't spot the culprit, we'll show you. That's coming up next. Plus, the heartwarming story of the dog who saves his blind owner's life. Hear that remarkable story in just a moment. Katie?
Well, skies are clear and temperatures already down into the 30s, but tomorrow starts that big warm up and there's actually a high of 74 degrees in our 8-day forecast. But what day is it and will it be sunny and nice? We'll have a close look at your extended forecast after the break.
And don't forget, when you see breaking news where you are, call our 8 News hotline, that number 330-8000, or email your breaking news pictures to news@wric.com. And don't forget, join us on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Jimmy?
Thanks. Here's a quick preview of what we're up to tonight. Apparently, there's a situation down in Tim Robbins' dressing room. Help! Oh. Tim.
You're watching 8 News at 11 on WRIC.
PFC Kyle Wiggum from Racine, Virginia. I'd like to wish all my loved ones a Merry Christmas. Love you.
Welcome back. Now a story some are calling a holiday miracle. A blind man and his service dog tumble onto New York City subway tracks in the path of an oncoming train. Now that man is talking about those terrifying moments. Here's ABC's Marcy Gonzalez.
He has some bumps, some bruises, and one incredible story.
I'm tearing right now because, things like this here don't happen for everybody.
Cecil Williams, 60 years old and blind, still in disbelief that he survived fainting and falling onto subway tracks in New York City right in front of an oncoming train.
I tried to scream at him to get, forward. The dog was pulling him to come forward, but it was too late.
His service dog Orlando unable to stop the fall, tumbling onto the tracks below with Williams, never leaving his side.
He stayed down here with me, and he was licking my face, but he was there for me.
There for him as the two ducked in the trough between the tracks, low enough so 2 cars of that oncoming train passed right over them before the emergency brakes kicked in and they were rescued. Williams promising the 11-year-old Labrador is in for some extra treats as he processes his overwhelming ordeal, some are calling a holiday season miracle.
I'm thinking about God and a few other things, why did he, save me? I don't know, but I do believe it's for a reason. And one day maybe I'll find out.
Williams says he was sadly planning to give Orlando up for adoption when the elderly dog retires and Williams gets a new service dog. Cost was his only concern, but now someone has anonymously donated enough money so Williams can afford to keep his fearless friend for the rest of his life. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, New York.
Quite a story. All right, now in Florida, drivers who speed through school zones might get an onion from the Grinch instead of a ticket. Major Lou Caputo says he wears a costume to give drivers a gift while also calling attention to those school zones. Drivers caught by the Grinch traveling less than 5 miles per hour over the limit can choose between that traffic ticket or an old onion.
Stopping naughty little boys like yourself. And since we're not giving citations today, even though you were a naughty little boy,
I was.
I have something for you. Now that's special. I don't give that to everybody.
All right.
I'll take the onions anytime.
All right, folks going more than 5 miles over the limit, though, they do get a ticket. If your winter travel plans include a trip to the Caribbean, make sure you pack your bug spray. The CDC is warning about a bad mosquito-borne disease on the island of St. Martin. The virus can cause fever, joint and muscle pain, a rash, headaches. You can avoid getting sick by using insect repellents and also wearing long sleeves and pants. Time for the forecast. Let's get back to Katie.
Well, Christina, we don't have the rain and the clouds that we saw last night. Clear skies looking live over the James River toward the Rockets Landing. But you really see that temperatures, as we can see right now, they've dropped pretty rapidly. 32 degrees. Winds have calmed down, so we're really not adding too much to that wind chill factor right now. But it's certainly feeling cool, and we're going to get colder. But if we can bear it, if you're already in bed and you're going to wake up tomorrow, tomorrow is the first day of that warming trend that we've been talking about for so long. So if you don't have to head out this evening, then you really don't have to deal with too much chill. Radar and satellite, as we mentioned, clear as day. In fact, if you step outside late tonight or even right now, you can see the stars. It's really just that clear out. Stepping back, You can tell that we're going to see sunshine for tomorrow. Clouds still well to our west. They will be moving in for Friday. But all in all, the forecast for tomorrow going to be quite nice. A high of 60 degrees under sunshine. But as I mentioned, a chilly night tonight. 28 already in Ashland. Right there at that freezing mark in Richmond. 28 in Petersburg, Emporia, even to our south in South Hill. 28 degrees there as well. Charlottesville 34. Farmville also sitting at 34 degrees. A lot of us going to be dropping down into those upper 20s tonight, but not too cold. As we get into the hour-by-hour forecast, jumping ahead to tomorrow morning, starting off with sunshine, we're going to keep it around all day. Remember, we mentioned that high of 60 degrees, not too bad. Late evening, overnight, we'll start to see maybe a few high clouds filtering in. Friday looking partly cloudy, but even warmer yet. The extended forecast keeping around those 60s, not only for a few days, but getting into the weekend as well. Let's take a closer look at that here in just a moment. But here's our breakdown for tomorrow. What are we expecting? Again, sunshine to start. Will be a tad bit cool early in the morning, 8 o'clock, 36 degrees. Still not too bad. 56 by the noon hour. Great to take lunch outdoors or maybe just take a walk outside. Perfect for that. 5 o'clock, still 58 degrees. Again, we'll see a high of about 60 for tomorrow. And then your extended forecast, 64 by Friday. Saturday, now looking dry. Previous days kind of showed a cold front moving through, bringing rain chances. That's now pushed off until Sunday. So Saturday, partly cloudy, 69 degrees. Take a look at that. Such incredible warmth for our Sunday. 74 is our high. We'll see afternoon showers Sunday, stretching into early Monday, but all in all, not too bad. We cool down quite a bit, getting closer to Christmas, but Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, not too bad either. Sunny, dry, and highs in the mid to upper 40s. Not too bad this year.
Looking good. Thank you, Katie. Time now for a look at the big stories that are trending online right now. A cute elf steals the spotlight in the first family's photo. Malia, President Obama, the First Lady Michelle, and Sasha, they all posed with the elves prior to the taping of a show, Christmas in Washington. But check out that little one on the bottom right making the face. Now that picture is all over social media. All right, it's your chance to help name the 5 cheetah cubs at the Metro Richmond Zoo. The zoo has narrowed down the final choices. You can choose from African names, biblical names, presidential names, and names derived from localities such as Chester, Richie, and Hannah for Hanover. You can vote for your favorite names online through Sunday. We'll link you there on our website, WRIC.com, and those winners will be announced December 29th. But Mitch, I see there's no Christina on the list. There is no Mitch, so we're going to have to choose either Hannah, Richie. There are several to choose from if you check them out.
Obviously, nobody asked me or you, though. Well, ahead in sports, the Redskins Ironman finally hangs it up. We're going to hear from London Fletcher after a break.
Coming up in our Steals and Deals, we're tracking holiday discounts, including a guided Christmas lights tour. Be sure to watch Good Morning Richmond for the scoop.
Welcome back to 8 Sports. I'm Mitch Carr. Phil has the night off. The Washington Redskins linebacker London Fletcher is 99% sure that this will be his last season in the NFL. So you're saying there's a chance. The 16-year veteran who came into the league as an undrafted free agent has never missed a game in his NFL career. Not one, playing in 254 straight. He's a 4-time Pro Bowler and has racked up 39 sacks and 23 interceptions. His final home game will be Sunday against who else? The Dallas Cowboys.
Thought with this being final home game, this being Dallas Cowboy week, you know, opportunity to go out on a bang, get the fans riled up, say thank you to them, and beat the Cowboys. You know, what better way to end it?
VCU's 15-point win over Wofford last night was not pretty, but the Havoc style lends itself to winning ugly. So as the Rams struggle to shoot the ball, an aggressive approach on offense and a tightened defense late was the difference. Now the attention turns to Saturday when the Rams will take on Virginia Tech in the Governor's Hoops Classic at the Richmond Coliseum. It's another shot at an in-state ACC rival and one that's playing above their expectations coming into the season. Outside of that bizarre loss to South Carolina upstate, the Hokies are 7-2, and one of those losses was to #1 at the time, Michigan State.
I'm excited. I'm fired up. I'm really looking forward to playing. As I told someone else, it's a game that normally wouldn't be scheduled. We can't pick up the phone and call those guys and schedule that game. So we get to play them, and I know they're fired up to play us too. We're a team that's received a lot of attention, in this area over the past several years. So it'll be a test of which team is more connected on that day, and obviously which team plays the best basketball.
Well, how about the VCU women? It was an early tip for them against Manhattan this morning. In the first half, this is Kiera Robinson. Lefty laying is good. And later, the Rams were inbounding when Jessica Palecchio, the senior, gets the ball in the corner, knocks down the three-pointer. She had 12 points on the day. More from the freshman Robinson. Check out this move. You have no idea how hard that is until you try to do it. Nice lay-in. She had 14. And the men's team has havoc. The women's team has fury. It's all about tempo. Down low quickly to Robin Parks here. Game high, 29 points for Parks as VCU wins at 85-64. It's their 8th straight win. The Rams are 9-1 on the season. More records being set by the Nova Aquatic Club, and this was at Tom Dolan Invitational this past week, 1 week after Townley Haas broke Michael Phelps' national age group record in the 500-meter freestyle. 14-year-old David Dixon broke 5 Virginia state records and came within 2/10 of breaking the national age group mark in the 200 butterfly. Dixon also teamed with Campbell Nystrom, Matthew Whelan, and Jacob Johnson to set the national age group record in the 800 freestyle relay. Great job, guys. And that's it for sports. I'm Mitch Carr. Now here's a look at your lottery numbers.
And a quiet and cold night. You're taking a live look really right downtown from the Rockets Landing camera. Obviously can't see the James River, but earlier it was just so quiet, and temperatures right now in the 30s. Many of us going to drop down into the upper 20s before we warm up. Remember, one cold night tonight, but tomorrow we do see that warmth finally working, and we've been talking about that warm up for so long now. Tomorrow's the first day of it. We'll see sunny skies and a high of 60. Friday, a few more clouds around, not too bad though, still looking dry, 64. The weekend actually looked like we were going to see some showers on Saturday. Saturday now looking dry with a high of 69. And then Sunday afternoon through early Monday, we'll see some rain working in. But even Sunday, look at that incredible warmth, a high of 74, closer to Christmas. We do cool down quite a bit, but hey, upper 40s, Christmas Eve and Christmas. You can't beat that. You cannot beat that.
A nice looking forecast. All right. Thank you, Katie. Thanks for joining us tonight. For Katie Dupree, I'm Christina Ferrick. Have a great night.